we first started rapping, we ain't know what was gonna happen. We was young, living our life, taking a chance with the thrill. And we did it because we loved it. We ain't really had no budget, no deal, no payment, no advance. Selling dope. It was all out of pocket, wasn't trying to make a profit. We was doing it just trying to please the fans at the show. When the rock bottom hit dropping, rollers don't TikTok. We made the whole city take a stand. While we started making bangs.
What's up, man? This Any and Everything podcast by two kings. I am King DJ.
And I am King Perez.
And y'all see, we got a goddamn legend on the show today, man. This is a goddamn legend. And before we even get to talking to him about everything, this could be a 5-hour episode right here. Anyways, but before we even get to talking to him about anything, man, we're going to get to that rock or drop it. Make sure y'all hit them polls on Facebook and vote on it. This Jnutty, this irrelevant. Make sure y'all tap in. Rock with me, man. Rock with me. Y'all hear the beat. Y'all hear everything that's going on. Make sure y'all tap in because I think a motherfucker can ask 1,000 questions just off that song right there. You feel me? Shit. So shit, I'm already hit, man. That shit dope as fuck. Boy, you got that old school ride vibe. You feel me? You just sitting up literally rocking and reminiscing.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah. When Helva did that beat, when I told him that's what I was about to do, he was like, "What you gonna do with this?" I was like, "Just sample it for me and trust me." And he put it together, and when he heard it again, he like, "Oh, man.
It got a city feel to it."
That's the vibe. Oh, ride around, just chopping it up with the homies.
And giving people a little lesson about, the history.
You know what it made me? It gave me the mindset of, I don't remember the exact terminology, but the old folk story, the old folk tale of the OG sitting up under the tree and then the kids sitting down watching. Yeah. I mean, listening to him talk. Yeah. And then you just peeping that lesson, you feel me? Because literally, bro, like, I don't know, bro. I was in middle school listening to y'all motherfuckers. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was literally a young buck thinking, like, this shit is fucking cold. Like, I can't wait until Jnutty get out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the whole beat, like, y'all, the whole background portfolio of what y'all, had as a unit. Shit.
Oh, yeah, we definitely was like Transformers, man. We definitely linked
Kobe and Shaq.
and made some things happen. Yeah. And it's like, and that's what I always try to do, like in all my music and all my songs, everything you ever listen to, anything you ever hear me on, it's kind of like a Spike Lee moment. You know how a point or when the Wayans brothers, you say message. Yeah. I'm always gonna be giving you that through the course of my lyrics, just to school the young people on it because they don't know, and you can't get frustrated. I ain't gonna say no names, but a lot of artists get frustrated because the young people, they don't know. They don't know who was hot or who had this or that. Mm-hmm. All they know is the now. Right. I'm hot now and I'm doing this now. They don't understand who put the footwork down, who, it's a few of them that understand and acknowledge and saw the grind. You know what I'm saying? Like Babyface Ray, he saw the grind. Mm-hmm. He was running around at that time and was young and showing up. He had the rock bottom shows and you know what I'm saying? Yeah. They saw the grind. You know what I mean? He know, but a lot of other rappers, Peas and them know, and GT and them know, they speak on that. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of new guys who new in the game, they don't understand that we were selling 50, 60,000 CDs out the trunk. Right. Literally. And that's just facts. I ain't trying to
streaming, before YouTube, before any form of networking. Y'all hit the ground, rock bottom. We all in the trenches with it. We everywhere with it. We jumping out on bootleggers and beating bootleggers up and taking the CDs and all of it. That's all a part of the grind. The reason, literally. You know what I'm saying? So now when you could just upload one song, you ain't got ride around with 600 CDs in the trunk. You ain't got to keep lugging them in and lugging them out. You ain't got to keep passing CD. Oh, yeah, he out over there. I got to take 200 CDs over there. I got to take 100 over there. We used to have to literally get on the road and drive to like Toledo and drive to Cleveland and drop off 300 CDs. My brother was street team. My brother was riding back and forth to West Virginia, Warren, Ohio, Cleveland, Richmond, Virginia. He was a part of the street team, taking 500 CDs here, 400 CDs there. They don't have to do that no more. Mm-hmm. Which, thank God they don't. I'm not
wishing they had to, but that's a part of the grind. That's why we here where we at now.
The hustle.
Yeah, the hustle part of it. We ironed out all those wrinkles for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Literally, because when you say you a legend in the game, and coming from when you did have to do that, we called that hustling. Like, you know, but you know, you was hustling prior to, you know, still hustling now, you know, hustling still with your family and all of that. So I agree with you. And these guys coming up don't really seek the knowledge to learn, you know, the predecessors of the game.
Plus, you know, y'all guys taught a lot of us younger guys and a lot of artists that was coming up the business wise. Because, you know, beforehand, all we used to do was go in the studio and just rap. We didn't never know the business. So it was guys like, you know, you Proof, a lot of the guys, Rock Bottom, you know, Crossbow Records, my man Big Meech. They were showing us, you know, the business part. Like, y'all not just rappers, y'all businessmen. So y'all got to handle, you know, your work like business. This is you.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, in the beginning of it, I wasn't business savvy with it.
Right.
I wasn't 100% into the business part of it. I just liked to rap. And I didn't want to be in there where they made the beat. I didn't want to do none of that.
Mm-hmm.
That part grew on me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I wanted to come in there and just rap. I didn't want to sit there and it take them 2 hours to build the beat. That just killed my whole vibe.
Right.
But as time went on, when I started co-producing, when I started having my own intuition saying, hey, put this with that.
Right.
Try this. Then I gained a little interest for being there when the beat was made.
Mm-hmm.
So that was something that came along with just the craft. You know what I'm saying? I co-produced half of the songs on my album. I co-produced a lot of songs on the Bootlegger's Dream album, what me and Blackface did. Mm-hmm. And then that, when my craft came for the music, because the producer back then, his name was Dilly D. And Dylan was like, you know, you co-produced this. You know, you're supposed to get credits for this. You
right.
You know, you didn't actually put the machines, you didn't play the beat, but you hummed it, and I knew what you was talking about. But I didn't want credit for that or none of that. You know, as long as it came out sounding good, that's all I cared about. But a lot of the business part and that part of it, we had a good manager. Me and her had a good man. Her cousin, actually, he managed us. We had a good man. He was a good manager. He real, what I want to say, he real technical. Yeah. Very technical, very detailed. He paid attention to every little thing. Right. And it can become annoying. Mm-hmm. Right. But it saved us one time. I'm about to give y'all a little history on this. One time, it was before we was with Rock Bottom. It was me, her, Charlie Picasso, and my man Thrust. Rest in peace to Thrust. He died a year ago. Mm-hmm. And but anyway, actually he was killed a year ago. Yeah, but we was a group before we was with Rock Bottom. Mm-hmm. So we already was making noise in our neighborhood, and we already was, you know, had a citywide. We was doing all the open mics. Back then it was Ebony Showcase.
Man, you're tapping into all my questions, bro.
Oh, okay. All right.
Hey, that's how you know motherfuckers come over here and get comfortable, bro. They just be wanting to spit their knowledge.
I really be wanting to give it to them, man.
Yeah, we got to, though. And I want you to. On God, bro. On God. Let's get into, because we tapping into, I want to know who you were before rap, coming into rap. Like, who is Jnutty? Like, where did you get the name Jnutty? Oh, shit. Where did you get the name Jnutty from?
Okay. So, it's kind of like a few different things. Mm-hmm. It wasn't just one simple thing. I used to be, like, very irritated. And I used to fuck with people like all the time, like in the house. My mama used to be like, "He go take a nap. He needed to go sit down and get out." I used to just irritate people for no reason. And my dad used to always say, like, that boy is nuts. You know, I'd be singing loud in the house and taking songs and mixing them up and singing Michael Jackson saying the same thing over and over and over again to somebody say, "Shut up, what's wrong with you?" I used to be upstairs laughing. So my dad used to always say, that boy is nuts. There's something wrong with him, you know. So then I got into some trouble when we was younger. I got into some trouble I was standing on, I grew up on Woodrow Wilson and Highland, you know what I'm saying, right over there. And I got into some trouble over there, and my dad said, you know what, I want you to go on and stay on my brother on the east side. That's why I claim east and west side. So I moved to the east side, Van Dyke and 6 Mile area, and I stayed over there with my cousins, I used to go over there every summer anyway, so everybody already knew me over there, but I moved officially staying over there. And when I got over there, it was like, okay, Carell, I mean, you could run around with guns and shooting, and the police never come. And it was an older guy that stayed down the street. His name was Hook, and he stayed down the street from my uncle. And they was about to jump my little brother. My little brother saw it. It was a guy fighting his girlfriend or whatever. We was leaving the party. It was a house party back then. And the guy was about to jump my brother. Because my brother, the girl, actually, she kind of like beat the boy up a little bit. And my brother was laughing. And my brother was like, damn, she fucked him up, And the dude was like, yeah, well, I bet you won't do it. So my brother was like, he didn't hear it, but I heard it. So I was like, bro, say it one more time. I want to see what he's going to say. Say it again. So my brother said it again. Dude thought my brother was by himself. My brother said it again. He said, dog, like, you won't do it. And my brother was like, well, she did it. I know I can. And he was like, well, and he whistled and did some shit and made a little noise. And next thing you know, it's 9 niggas got my brothers around. And he like, yeah, he talking blah, 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 blah. All the time, I got 357 on. So, but the older Hook was out there, and he was kind of like older. He was like an OG then, and he was just riding by. And he like, what's going on? He like, what's going on? He trying to squash it down. I said, no, Hook, don't worry about it. It's straight. He like, you sure? And I'm like, yeah, it's straight. So I whipped out and basically I told dude what you was about to do. Y'all thought y'all about to rush him. I shot the gun by the dude. Had the dude by the neck. Just shot it by his ear. Everybody ran, whatever. And we took off running. We ran to the house. By the time I get to the corner of my block, my cousin like, what's going on? What's going on? He see me running with the gun. I'm telling him as we going, he grabbed the gun. We run back around there. And everybody gone. My cousin just bust off in the air. So Hook was like, why you ain't let me squash it? It wouldn't have went to that. I know them little dudes. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, no, I had it, blah, 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 blah. 2 weeks later from that, nigga pulled down on my cousin doing some bullshit. I empty out on him. Hook was there then. So Hook went and told my uncle, you got to send that little nutty nigga back to the west side. Because he making it out over here. And every time he's shooting, this little nutty nigga is fucking up the money and everything. So my uncle, shout out to my uncle, his name, my Uncle Irie, his birthday a couple days before mine. So he telling them like, well, yeah, if you want to call him Nutty, I'm Papa Nutty, and I'm backing him up, and whatever he want to do, blah blah blah, and they kind of like just stuck from there.
Power,
yeah,
Jay Nutty,
yeah.
Jay Nutty. So how did you take Jay Nutty and turn it into a rap name? Like, was it like was it because it's two different stories. It's I'm the kid, I'm wilding, I'm Michael Jackson, I'm singing, I'm doing this, and then it's, I'm this beacon in the hood. Like which one was the rapper? Where did it,
well,
you know what I'm saying?
That kind of came from Charlie Picasso and Hurt. Charlie Picasso, because I didn't have a rap name.
Okay.
So, Hurt was like, I had already gotten in trouble on the west side, so it was already stuck a little bit. Like, so when the east side was calling me that, Hurt like, well, shit, you might as well just go by Jay Nutty. Like, fuck it, it is what it is. So what happened was when I was rapping, I used to stack words like Big Pun kind of, like not giving myself a breather, like constantly like stacking words.
Right.
So one of the producers thought that's why they called me Nutty, because I was like going nuts with the flow, like stacking words like that. And people can't, you know what I'm saying?
Like it's hard to catch that breath.
Hard to catch the breath. Like this nigga crazy. He nutty to be even doing that like that. So it kind of like that stuck that way too.
Yeah, that's deep. That's deep.
It's a story to it.
So when did you meet her? Like, when did y'all actually come together and say, all right, let's rap? Like, did you know him before rap?
I knew him before rap, but my older brother, I'm gonna give him a shout out, much love. That's his name. He probably don't give him as much credit as he needs, to be honest with you, because he was one of the people. Okay, so let me take you back real quick. Rocky B, rapper Rocky B.
I'm gonna rock with you.
Rocky B, her father, and my brother were best friends. He used to rap. He was hot. Rocky B daddy was a beast. From late 80s, he was down there with Run DMC. He was down there with Russell. He was trying to ink a deal and all that. He was popping. Him and Hurt was a group at one time. So I used to just only freestyle. I used to wouldn't write. Okay. So my brother used to tell me, if you want to freestyle, you need to listen to MC Ace and Big Hurt. They really can freestyle. So my brother would say, come on, we're going to go up to Central, and we will walk from Central all the way back to our house, like a 2-mile radius. And then Hurt and MC Ace would go back and forth. They would pass the flow back and forth and not mess up. Freestyle. And my brother used to be like, you got to walk and you got to listen to them. They the best that's doing it. You got to be able to do this. And I took it on, you know what I'm saying? But I was like, so I had came up with a rap to diss Rocky B did. His name was MC Ace. So I was going to be, he MC Ace and I'm the big joker or some shit. I had a rap for him. So I went at him one day and he shut me down. So I was like, I got to start writing this shit so I don't forget. Fuck that. I got to write. I got to be ready for him. Because it was in
around war, boy.
But at the time, I was probably like in the 7th grade. And they was in high school. You know what I'm saying? So I was probably I was in the 6th grade. They was in high school. So me and Charlie Picasso
you
was
rapping against them then.
Yeah, I was trying to hone in on my skill then.
Not even knowing, you just
shit, that was like like when we used to be back in the days in Hamtramck. We was young niggas trying to get in, you know what I'm saying? They be like, nah, we can't let y'all in, y'all too young.
And like that situation there, like you said, about the Lush. We was young trying to get in, but I still acknowledge that B-Def and Puncho and AWOL and Mossy Ski and Lil Lee and what was the Detroit's Most Wanted and Rap Mafia and and Roach Spit and Nick Speed and all them. They was older than me and they was but they was trying to we had the box and they was on the box was doing his thing. You had Prince Vince and all these guys when I was little. My brother, my older brother was like, listen to this. Yeah. Put this tape in. Listen to him. Listen to him. So I heard J to the D. I heard all these flavors of Detroit people back then. You know what I'm saying? Austin Dre was political. So I liked Austin Dre and I liked the Public Enemy. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah. The correlation.
I like the boss. You know what I'm saying? So my brother was my mom. We was Jehovah. My mom was Jehovah's Witness, so we couldn't have that type of music. You know what I'm saying? So my brother sneaking in the tapes. So like, listen to this, listen to him. So when I found out that they was all like a lot of them from Detroit, I'm like, well, shit, I can do that. I can do it too. Then they gave me basically a boost,
some more confidence.
A boost of confidence that it is rappers coming out of Detroit.
Oh yeah.
And back then, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I didn't think like nobody was trash back then. I didn't think no Detroit rapper was trash.
I swear,
I didn't. I thought all of them was their own entity. They had their own sound. J to the D was talking about Sack Chasers. Prince Vince had the gangster funk. It was a vibe to him. Detroit Most Wanted was kind of raw and rough. Rap Mafia was talking about dope dealing. Trick was making the booty bounce. It was everybody had their own different element they brought.
I mean, if you look at it, one time Detroit was the influence of rap music.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? If you take all them guys back then and you look at brothers like YBI, then you look at Detroit Most Wanted and stuff like that. The videos they was doing back then, they had on minks.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? They was
Real player
riding limos. They had Rolls Royces. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, a lot of people took that style from us and ran with it. You know,
Yes.
I always listen to you know, Biggie when he, you know, he'd be like, you know, my Detroit players. You know what I'm saying? Because they knew when we came like to New York, we came to Vegas and shit. We had like, man, style.
Yeah.
We was rocking minks. We was rocking gators. You know what I'm saying? We had all that shit. So a lot of people took that style and, you know, our music and they chopped it up and they, you know what I'm saying, they did it on their level.
And not just on the music level, like you said, on the pimping level. Mm-hmm. We was rocking gators and minks and, you know, in the jewelry and was fly. That was a part of our whole makeup too. You know what I'm saying? When you go back to my uncle and them from the zone, my uncle and them was getting money back in their time, and they was running around with furs and pump waves and you know what I'm saying, and getting money and riding in limos and Volvo. I remember when the Volvo first came out, my uncle had one. I couldn't believe it. I thought that was just, that bitch was like a spaceship to me back then. You know what I'm saying? But like you saying, our whole makeup.
Right. In that era.
And that's what I be trying to teach. Like when I say it, when I'm rapping about something, when I'm schooling somebody about something, I try and give them a little history. Because my daughter rap.
Yeah,
shout out to Power Move J. She rap. And she told me one day.
That's that tag. Say that again. Say that.
Shout out to Power Move J.
Boom.
Shout out to my son Jay Pratt.
There you go.
Juan Peso. Son. And but anyway, my daughter said that she never knew that Will Smith rap or Ice Cube rap. She thought they was just good actors.
Right.
And all hell broke loose in the house. So I made her go back. I said, you can rap, you got the skill, you got it. So you got to go back, you got to know the history. So what I did was I gave her a little bit of history and I said, I want you to, you know, you want to go back, I want you to listen to Foxy Brown. I gave Foxy Brown first. Mm-hmm. And then I wanted to see where she was going to go with it after that. She took it upon herself and started digging further.
Yeah.
Digging further. And she came back and was like, Daddy, you know what I think the dope is? I'm like, oh. She's like, Mia X was hard. I like the Mia X was raw. And I was like, yeah, that's a good pick.
You know.
Yeah, that mean you grasped what I was trying to do.
Yeah.
I was trying to teach you on something. You picked the person. I didn't give you her, but you dug further and that's who you found.
So when you look at like, in the rap game, as far as females go, they never give her props.
They never get a lady say props.
Never.
Foxy was dope.
As far as Mia X go, she was like that one that jumped out there, especially when No Limit was at her prime.
Yep.
And they never really acknowledged her like that.
Even like right now, when you saying when they go like in the history of hip hop, they don't really speak on Mia X, and she was raw. Mia X never dropped a whack verse to me ever. She never, you had somebody like, oh, that person's apart. She never did that to me. So you're right. Mia X never got her props.
On Make Them Say, she fired him up. Yeah, she fired him up. She gave it to him on that boy.
So knowing that your daughter rap, when she first started rapping, what was your knowing that how rap was and how rap is now, and you being, past and present? How did you feel?
When I heard what she was doing, as far as an artist, she brought a whole, if she would listen to me, she brought a whole new element to the music, the way she rapped. So she took a little bit of everything and mixed it with her education. Okay. So she liking Mia X and she liking Mia X flow. She think her daddy is one of the best ever that did it. When daddy talking gangster shit.
Right.
No.
So I'm gonna mix a little bit of all this in and put it together. And she was real smart in school. She graduated when she was like 16. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? She was like promoted. Yeah. Fresh out of high school, she already had her own business started and was already getting revenue checks and already. She was 17, she had her business established, her LLCs, and was already getting checks and ordering stock and filling up her little, she got like an Amazon store.
Young Will.
Right. So she was already ahead of her page. And it was times where I need to order them shirts. I need you to do it. And she like, I got you. You know what I'm saying? What? So she was ahead of her time.
Right.
She real smart, very articulate, and she took that and she mixed that with kind of like a twist of music with a flow. And like she said in one of her raps, she said, I was 14 in the 11th grade, and I still had them all afraid of me, but they were skipping lunch, but I was waiting on a place to eat. Like she said certain little
catchphrase.
Yeah.
Right.
She said something about a dude she had to tell the dude that she ain't nothing to play with because he was up scrolling, but she was on Dow Jones watching a day shift, and she mixed them kind of bars in there, stock market, real estate, and you know what I'm saying? She mixed that kind of stuff in there, so that's a breath of fresh air.
Yeah. So you ain't worried about that.
Oh no, I ain't worried about her.
Yeah, okay.
You know, with a lot of female artists, you know what I'm saying, it's mostly when they go into the music part of it, all they try to promote is their sexuality.
That's why
you know what I'm saying, and that sexuality overplays, you know, the music, everything else. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I always say, we as fathers, you know what I'm saying, we got to set the moral standards to, you know what I'm saying, you don't have to do this to get here. You know what I'm saying?
I was literally just about to ask that. Coming up the way you came up, how did you sit her down and say, okay, I was this type of rapper? You know, even her watching you, you know, you did jail time, you know, we're gonna talk about that. You know, you did, you know, you literally shot out the cannon and y'all was literally the biggest shits in Detroit. Like for real. You know what I'm saying? So and her seeing that and then seeing like your dad and you telling her what you did, like how did you know what I'm saying? How can you like, even dealing with your childhood? Like how can you tell her, how did you tell her this the lane you should be? Well, this the lane you shouldn't be.
Well, like you said, being a father is a father of a daughter. Daughters, it's a whole different ball game. Thankfully, I had my father, you know, around. I got two older sisters. Mm-hmm. So the way my father raised us was stern. It was very, 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 very effective. And everything that he taught us, no exaggeration, everything that he taught us, I got two brothers, I got two sisters, we all use a lot of those values that he taught us today. Mm-hmm. And I just basically honed them in on my daughter. My sisters wasn't allowed to go outside barefooted. Mm-hmm. My sisters wasn't allowed to go outside with their hair all standing over their head. Mm-hmm. They wasn't allowed to be in the house with pajamas in there with no bra on. Yeah. You know, if you walk to the store and your hair messed up, you put a hat on. So my daddy taught us like that. And I raised my daughters the same way. Mm-hmm. And even, you know, on the women that I was with, I tell them that, like, no, you got to do this, you know. And they're like, well, I ain't got to do that. Well, that's just my rule. That's how I was raised. And I appreciate if you do that. So my daughter followed those principles. Mm-hmm. You know, because like Rocky said, I mentor, you know what I'm saying? Rocky, I mentor.
She was just at the show last night, right?
Everybody, Mo, they love her, you know what I'm saying? Right. Yeah. But I wanted her to get to the point to where I didn't want her to, she already graduated early, so people thinking that, oh, she 18. She graduated, she's 16, and no, she's not about to be backstage with.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
because like you know how the industry could be.
Right. Right. You know.
See, I'm a father of 4 daughters.
Oh, yes.
I don't have sons. I got all daughters.
So, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they
take some thick skin.
They already know. You know, they'd be like, that's P daughter. They'd be like, shit, okay. You know what I'm saying? We don't want no smoke and shit because you know they know it's certain shit that, you know, was cool and there's certain shit to me that wasn't cool. So if you see my daughter on the set, chill. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We'll pick back up later. You know what I'm saying? Because there's certain shit I wanted around my kids, certain shit I didn't want around. You know, so it's like I had to teach them as young women, you know what I'm saying? You got to represent yourself in a certain way. You know what I'm saying? And stay stern on it.
Yeah, you got to stand on it. And
right. So if anybody, you know, violate that, that's when you come tell Pops. Don't worry about it. Go to the crib because I'm about to take
it. And we don't never got to talk about it no more.
Right. It's done.
Yeah.
So you went to jail. Let's talk about that. What did you go to jail for?
Well,
actually, like I said, I was a kid.
Well, actually, it was 2 separate times.
Uh-huh.
So the first time I went to the state prison, I shot a dude. He was telling me that the dude basically knew I had a pistol on me, and he basically told me he could take it from me. So we got to arguing about it, and I'm telling him he couldn't, and blah blah blah, whatever.
All right.
And
one thing turned to another.
Yeah, one thing turned to another. I ended up shooting him in the forehead. He ended up living.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason I ended up getting convicted of it because he lived, and when the ambulance came, like an idiot, like they say, the corporate always returned to the scene of the crime.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I was still at the scene of the crime, and he was able to point me out.
Mm-hmm.
So the first time I got charged with felonious assault, armed robbery, assault with intent to commit murder, firing a firearm in a dwelling. It was like a bunch of charges they tried to do. Actually, it happened on the side of her grandmother's house.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the dude ended up, he ended up telling the truth. I mean, not telling the truth, but kind of like in,
making it a little bit for your favor.
Yeah, he kind of like ended up saying, what happened,
Right.
And they ended up dropping a lot of the charges, and I ended up only doing 2 years and 6 months for the gun. But I actually, the problem with that was when the case first happened, I got convicted.
Right.
I got found guilty.
Mm-hmm.
Got out, like I said, shout out to my father again. He had a lot of money at the time, so they convicted me. He paid the lawyer $18,000, went to trial, got convicted, found guilty. Now I'm looking at 22 to 50.
Mm-hmm.
My daddy get the lawyer another $8,000. Let's get a new trial.
Yeah.
On new trial, back out on bond.
Mm-hmm.
So I got another bond. I got another lawyer. I got a whole other trial. Went to court. Ended up going to court. This judge dismissed. I see the guy in the store. The guy say, yeah, we was in the store. We celebrating now, buying, liquor because I had that bond money. So my bond was like 60,000, 10%.
Yeah.
So I got 6 bands. I'm young. I'm 19, 20.
Right.
So we in the store. We buying liquor. What y'all want? Blah 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 blah. And the dude walks in the store and he say, "Why you celebrating and buying everybody else something? You should be looking out for me. Because if I'd have came to court, you wouldn't be right here right now." I took it as blatant disrespect. Buy me, nigga, give me a fifth. This is what he said.
Oh, that's how he talking.
And told the guy behind the counter what he wanted.
Right.
No, that's not gonna work like that, bro. Fuck him. Fuck what he talking about. Whatever I got everybody else they shit. I bought bum shit in front of him.
Just on strip.
Yeah, because come on, guy, you're not about to do me like that. And this dude turned around and went that day and called the prosecutor and told the prosecutor that if you open the case back up, because it was dismissed with prejudice, if you open the case back up, I'll never miss a court date again.
Damn.
So, it's just a true story. So, I'm sitting 3 days later after I see him in the store. I had an Impala at the time. I had a Chevy. I had a box Chevy, and I had my dashboard to lift up. I had an Uzi. I had a real Uzi back then. I had an Uzi. I used to sit in the dashboard. We sitting on the block. We chilling. We smoking. Hurt in the car. And me, Hurt, my boy Tom from Grand Blunt Entertainment. We sitting in the car. Police pulled down on me. Like, damn, the Uzi in the stash. Tom say, I got a 2.5 on. They behind me. But we sitting in the car. So Before they get out, I get told 2-5, I throw it in the stash. I ain't even know it could fit in there with the Uzi, but it did. Police get out, everybody, you got a warrant for your arrest. I said, warrant for what? It's a felony warrant. We got to take you in. I'm like, felony warrant? She's like, yeah, for assault. Assault with intent to commit murder. I'm like, oh, it must be a mix-up. I just finished that. I just finished that. That case is dismissed, blah, blah, blah. He's like, well, they're saying you got a warrant right now. He was like, we rolled by your house the day before yesterday.
I said they was looking for you.
Yeah.
Because the day before yesterday, my girl had told me, she said police pulled up and they went in your car. And I was like, for real? She was like, yeah. I was like, maybe because I was blocking the alley. She was like, well, they went in there, blah, blah, blah. They searched the car and everything. She's like, I was calling you. Ain't coming. I'm like, oh, well, they probably because I was blocking the alley and the doors was open. They just, where they had really was trying to pull back on me to serve me this warrant.
Yeah. Scoop you up.
Yep. So they end up taking me in. I called the lawyer. The lawyer said, oh, yeah, about what happened? What did you do? I said, nothing. He said, this guy called the prosecutor and said, you want to open the case. Did you say something to him? Did you? And I told him the whole story. So now my lawyer, like, I don't like this dude. This dude was, mind you, at the time I caught the case when I was like 19.
Right.
And I didn't get it all done.
How old dog? Did you know how old dog was?
At the time, he was like 33.
So he old.
Yeah, he an older dude. So the lawyer, by the time I get done with everything, I'm out on bond for like 3 years of fighting the case because I told you we went to trial, got found guilty, got back out, got a new trial. So all this shit then took 3 years. So now the lawyer kind of frustrated, like, damn, it's been 3 years, you've been out on the street, you ain't trying to do nothing to him. Why is he still pursuing? So we had to go to court and start all over again. And then that's how I ended up doing the time for that case. That was the first case. In the second case, I got convicted conspiracy to possess 5 to 10 kilos.
That's right.
I think I remember that.
Yeah. So that one was
the talk at the
yeah,
time.
Yeah.
So being in jail and you hearing everybody talk about, what the music is and, holding you down in there, how did you feel?
Now that was the most beautiful part about it. Because at the time I had what I did fighting the conspiracy case. I did 22 months in the county. Mm-hmm. So, the county officers coming in, and they, some of them young and they coming in and they like, wow, and they telling them like, that's Jnutty, blah, blah, blah. And like, for real, like, yeah, like, boom. So they pulling up the videos. And
so you didn't know at first?
TV. What?
This how you found out, like, I'm hot in the streets?
Oh, I mean, I knew he was making noise. Don't get me wrong. But the officers was pulling up the videos and putting more people hip to it, and they was getting hip to it, and they like, damn. They kind of looking like, how the fuck you in here, Mm-hmm. So this is before, this when YouTube first even dropped. YouTube was free. You wasn't getting paid for it. You wasn't getting paid for the stream. So all we had on there was Tool on Deck at the time. We had Tools on Deck, me and Blackface album. Mm-hmm. That bitch doing numbers. We never knew that we was gonna be able to get revenue from it. We were just happy to load the videos up for free. Yeah. Right. So we had Tool on Deck and one called Street So Cold. We had those two up in the video. So the officer was looking at the videos. We had a couple female officers liking me off the videos. My name popping in the street. Tough Tone from Cheddar Boys, he ended up being in the next pop. And the officer tell me, say, hey, they got another rapper next door. His name Tough Tone. You know him? I was like, yeah. We used to be kind of feuding a little bit. He was like, he asked me, they told him you was over here. He was like, I can make it where you can holler at him real quick. You want to talk to him? I was like, yeah, fuck. And we got, a chance to kick it, real quick. He was fighting the gun case. He had a couple guns he had got caught with. I was fighting that case. And, we just chopped it up real quick. Like, we was beefing on the street. We ain't really never had no
because it was
me and him never had no actual beef interaction. Right. But like, damn, nigga, I don't want you to get voted for 15 years. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let's pray for each other. You know what I'm saying? Right. And that was that. 2 weeks later, Wine come in on my pod. The Street Lord Wine come in. So everybody thinking me and Wine.
I was about to say that one too.
So niggas looking like, oh shit. One of my boys actually come from one of my dudes from the dude Hook. I'm telling you about him. His little nephew come and get me like, they go wine, and like this, like trying to give me a heads up, you know.
Right.
And Juan come in, and I'm like, what up, though? And he like nothing. Like, yeah.
That's how he said it.
Like, yeah, he like, what's up? I'm like, what's up with you, bro? And from there, we never even talked about the beef.
The nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
The beef was instantly over. We we said whatever we said, we talked, but we did end up doing 2 years together.
Mm-hmm.
So
that became a little connection.
And Juan was kind of on point with the law work. He knew what he was talking about, knew what he was doing, telling me, giving me information to tell my lawyer, tell lawyer this, actual lawyer this. Like, my lawyer, like, who are you talking to? Like, who's giving you these questions to ask? So we became, me and Juan, that's when we formed our bond. We've been real friends ever since.
Because a lot of times back then, and I used to tell people, back then it wasn't us getting into it with anybody. It was mostly our entourage beefing and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because we as performers, we was far from the shit, but the motherfuckers that we hung with always seemed to, you know, see, we be wilding out. Everybody be drinking, smoking. Motherfuckers get into it, and we always get the last word. Like, yeah, you know, it's trouble down in there, and be like, damn. Now we beefing.
Now we beefing. What happened?
Right.
Actually, at the St. Andrews, WJLB had a show down there, and they had us come do just one song. They wanted us to do No, and Cheddar Boys was doing Old Boy.
Mm-hmm.
No, we did. No, ain't nothing but a party. They did Old Boy and I'm a Cheddar Boy, baby. That was it. 98. Bushman set it up, whatever. We there deep, 50 of us, it's 50 of them. And somebody out of their entourage threw a bottle. Mm-hmm. And the bottle, it didn't hit nobody, it fell in front of us in the bus. Mm-hmm. So now everybody look over there, who the fuck threw the bottle? Who the fuck threw that bottle? You know what I'm saying? Now my dudes on our entourage like, y'all ain't gotta do nothing. We on it, and that's when it happened. Boom.
So that's how that Cheddar Boy?
10, 20 niggas brawling.
Yep. And that's how it happened all the time. All the open mics I went to, it was never.
So what happened with Street Lords?
But after this, I gotta give Wipeout a shout out too, you know, because he was real at this point. He was always real with me. I can't speak on with everybody else, but he the next day, the very next day after the fight, after the brawl, me, Rock, a couple other people, we had a birthday party. A girl, some type of bridal shit, or some girl shit. And we there, and we at this bar, and all the Cheddar Boys come in there, and it's only like 3 of us. They all walk in there because they knew one of the girls too, or some shit. So now it's like 10 or 12 of them there. We in there, we ain't got no straps, nothing. And Wipeout walk up, and he like, Rock was like, come here, man, let me holler at you. And Wipeout walk up, and he like, man, before we even get to talking about that shit, what y'all drinking? That was some real shit. Niggas had a problem when they brawled, it's over with. We ain't got time for that shit. He like, he said the nigga who threw the bottle, I told him, since you threw the bottle, nigga, show your face. And that's how it happened. You know what I'm saying? So he would, that shit over. That shit did. They fought, whoever lost on y'all end, you know what I'm saying? And that made me love him that time. Not because they had the ups on us and we was already vulnerable, but because he looked at it like
came out
right. I mean, if you look at a lot of our beats back then, they got just settled. You know what I'm saying? It really didn't get into a lot of killing because, you know what I'm saying, we had that networking of people that would come together and be like, hey, y'all chill that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because really, you know, back then we was all about really just making music and performing and shit. Because
making money.
I think me and you, we met before. Matter of fact, I think it was at one of Landa D's open mics.
Line, the guy?
No, it was a female. She used to do the open mics all the time. Landa D. What was the homegirl name? Miss
Murder.
Miss Murder.
Miss Murder.
Yeah. She used to have open mic over across from Buddy's.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I do remember that.
So I done seen you a couple of times, you know, because I used to be at the bar all the time with Red.
Right.
You know, because Red was my homegirl. You know, every show I used to go to, I used to end up bumping into her. So we used to chop up. So it's like the circle back then was like a family because everybody knew each other. Or if, you know, you didn't know this person personally,
you knew somebody. Knew.
Right. Yeah. So, you know, they basically was the mediators between a lot of shit that was going on and kept shit, you know what I'm saying? You know.
And that's why I think a lot of the beef is going right now because, like, with a lot of the young dudes that's rapping, a lot of young dudes that's out here going, you know, they don't have no mediators.
Right.
And a lot of them don't seek.
I was just about to say,
you know what I'm saying? Like, and I can admit at one point in time when I was younger, it was like something happened and it happened too bad, and I'm like, I don't want no help.
Yeah.
I don't wanted you to call and try and get the squash because I'm gonna find out that he know auntie and all that. No, he fucked up. I gotta do what I gotta do.
Right.
So I get it, but now it's just blatant.
Yeah, it's wild.
Over the top. These kids not even. You know, I got OGs that I used to go to and be like, dog, what you think? You know, what should I do? And he's like, Jay.
But you gotta look at it like as far as now, you know, you gotta look at we had the mediators, we had the OGs that'll set us down, but you know, you got like when I was a young artist coming up in the game, you know what I'm saying? Just think what would have happened if we didn't have them mediators? Because you look at people like, you know, X and, you know, O and all them motherfuckers, them young motherfuckers that was coming up and before they even met their prime. You know what I'm saying? They just got killed over little shit that could have been really swatched.
Right. Well, like you said, but it's the problem. One of the main problems is that with beef right now is I don't like him. He don't like me. I upload on here how he's so fake and he's so phony. Everybody see. Now I'm embarrassed.
Right.
Whereas what beef was, I'm not gonna see you again probably to the next open mic.
Right.
And if it's to the point to where me and you had that problem to where it was that really what was the problem, what it was. One time a guy told Hurt said in his song, I'm like a time bomb, watch out because I may go off. They label was called Watch Out Entertainment. They thought Hurt was shooting a shot at them. Hurt like, no, I was just saying watch out, like man. But they was gearing up to start dissing us. You see what I'm saying? But once it was said, like, I thought you was shooting this. Hurt like, no, that wasn't dissing y'all.
Right.
You know, y'all all right with us. Right. That's the thing. But it wasn't squashing to the next time we saw each other. What on here, what on social media, you upload this shit and all your followers see it. Even if all your followers don't even look at it right then, they look at my shit and say, oh, Nutty got 9,000 followers. 9,000 people just saw me. I'm embarrassed. I'm going to shoot him when I see him. And that's not how it's supposed to go because this wasn't in the playback. You know what I'm saying? You really had to see a person face to face. What's up?
So as an OG, because like you said, you went to your OGs and you saying they not going to the OG. So as an OG to the young bucks and the inspiring rappers, what are you telling them?
Well, the majority of them that I ever come in encounter with.
I mean, shit, this the encounter right
there. The majority of them, all of them, and they all know it. They can admit it. They'll tell you. I have never ever, condone bullshit. Right. I don't condone ratting. I don't condone robbing no old ladies. I don't condone raping nobody. I don't condone shooting no fucking kids. I don't condone none of that shit. Right. Beef is gonna happen. It's always been around. And when I say that on the song, I was 5 watching my uncle suit up. That's when I learned how to cock load something and suit up. I learned that from watching them suit up. But beef is gonna happen. I ain't never did nothing to nobody that ain't have it coming to them. Through all my shit. A lot of people that got passes because of shit my OGs said or, you know, my OGs and told me, let the streets get them. You know what I'm saying? But I tell the young dudes, like, dude, is it really worth it? Can you really beef? Can you afford to beef like you think you ready to beef? Because you don't have enough money to move your mama and your sisters. You don't got enough money for that. Right. So if a nigga start playing mama games and a nigga start playing sister games and a nigga start playing grandma games, are you ready for that? You gotta be really ready to suit up and stay suited up every fucking night of the week if a nigga go over there and drop your grandma. Or if a nigga go over there and firebomb your mama house. Exactly. Are you really ready for that? No, you're really not ready for that when you at work. you really not ready for that. You really not ready for that when you catching a bus, my guy.
Because I told him my first case was $30,000. That was up front.
You heard me say my dedicated lawyer 18 and they had another 8. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be where you gotta have lawyer fare and be able to move your mama out the hood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you can't do that, you really need to be trying to squash whatever it is.
See, but even for the ones that's doing it, man, let's change the culture.
Yeah.
Right, because it can be squashed by a simple conversation could be squashed, bro.
Yeah. Most of the time, all it takes is a simple conversation or just to be in the motherfucking presence and be like, you know what I'm saying? And no, it ain't that.
Because half of the time it ain't that big.
Yeah. And what I learned when I got popular in the rap game, what I learned was by doing business and doing shows and doing this shit with people, and then anything that happened in the city, when Blackface said I either know the nigga that died or the nigga that did it, it's kind of like for real prevalent right now. Like when something happened, I'm like, damn, I know dude. Yeah. Damn, I know dog. Damn, I knew his sister. You know, every time something go wrong. So now I'm thinking before I get mad or before I go over here and go check him, I probably know his uncle.
Right.
Or went to school with his sister or know his brother. You know what I'm saying? Right. Or my brother know his brother or something like that. A true story, me and the dude got into it on the street. Mm-hmm. We ride, he driving stupid. I'm mad at him because he driving stupid. I pull on side of him. I mean mug him. He say, fuck you, nigga, whatever. We pulling in the same parking lot. And I whip up on him and I say, yeah, nigga, fuck you. He like, well, what you want to do? It's him and another dude. So the driver, a big dude. But I don't never care about that. I'm be 1,000 with you. When I'm ready to get this energy off, I don't give a fuck. You all over. You're gonna get what I can get you. But so the driver get ready to get out. The passenger don't do nothing, but he looking. The driver get ready to get out. So I bag my car up and turn where I can get out my car and we'll be like face to face. Yeah. When he see me bag my car up, he thinking I'm about to try and hit him. He grabbed the gun. And I pulled off and I said, I knew you had a gun, you bitch ass nigga. That's why you was so tough. He was like, no, nigga, you try to hit me with the car. I'm like, fuck you, whatever. True story. Fuck you, nigga. I'm gonna see you again. Bitch, I got your license plate. Whatever, motherfucker. I pull off. About a month later, soon, I'm getting some work done on my house, blah, blah, blah. I call my boy. I say, yo, I need somebody to come over here and do this drywall and blah, blah, blah. My boy said, I got a guy.
Guy's the guy.
It's the guy.
Guy's the guy.
He pulls up, come to my house, knock on the side door, call, hey, yeah, Aunt told me to come, I'm here. I said, all right, I go outside. When I open this door and he didn't scream, I'm stuck and I'm looking at him. He like, this the house, right? I'm like, yeah.
He don't remember you.
Yeah, and I'm thinking like, I got this nigga. Like, he at my house and I really got the burner in here. Right. He threw if I want him to be, you know what I'm saying? But then reality had to kick in, like, can't kill him right here at your house. Can't pop him right here at your house, though. Right. And do he still got the other dude in the car?
I say, yeah, somebody might know where you live. Really?
But now he know where I stay up. So what happened is, I'm fucked up. He come in and we talking, blah, 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 and I'm like, yeah, he like, I can do this by this day, blah, blah, blah. He don't got no clue. He don't remember.
He ain't even hit. Right.
So my brother come over, much love, he come over, and I'm telling my brother outside, like, before we go in the house, this was telling the whole story, whatever. And my brother, like, for real, I'm like, yeah, he like, so what you gonna do? What you gonna do? I said, the nigga know. I said, the nigga over here talking regular. Nah, it ain't no, I ain't even as mad as I was. Right. And you know what I'm saying?
You don't even know.
I ain't mad as I was. My brother come in the house and be like, what's up? He like, what's up? He like, you went to Mumford? My brother like, yeah. He like, used to be with, yeah, blah, blah, blah. He like, yeah.
Now your brother know.
My brother used to holler at his cousin and all. Now I'm in here really like.
It's right in the conversation. Yeah.
Yeah. So now, that point right there, what I'm making is, that's something that, my brother and my boy know this guy. Right. And I'm ready to kill him because we had a feud on the side of a road. Mm-hmm. But really, by the time I see him again, I ain't even as mad no more. Right. You know what I'm saying? But now if I'd seen him and he said something arrogant, then it went right back up. Yeah. So my point to the young niggas, some of the beef can be squashed. Don't let this shit, social media, fool you. We are not Chicago. We are not Lil Durk now. Them niggas down there beefing and feuding and got gang shit that been going on since the beginning of the time. They done lost hundreds and hundreds of bodies. They beef. I can't go down there and squash that.
Right. That's lineage beef.
Yeah, that's beefing over years when people done got innocent people done got killed. We not them. We got more a little bit more technology than them down there. You know what I'm saying? We a little faster. We hang out. Our city is a little smaller than theirs.
Right.
We hang out more. We in the same places more. So some of the shit can be squashed. It ain't even got to be. You know what I'm saying? You don't even got to diss a nigga. Everybody had the imaginary nigga on the mic. That's why I used to rap to in the bathroom. I'm talking like I'm rapping to somebody I'm dissing. Yeah. So you got to automatically think that that's that. Don't automatically say it's you until a person call your name out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or say your name, and then that might still be addressable.
Yeah. And I always say we, as like the city of Detroit and surroundings, we never had a gang culture. Because we couldn't have a gang culture because everybody knew each other.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? If I hung out with these dudes, just 3 or 4 dudes that I know that hang out with them dudes. You know what I'm saying? So at some point in time, we always gonna meet, whether it's out at Bill Isle, whether it's out at the Lush or Rouge Park, Chandler Park. You know, everybody's around each other. Yeah, I mean, everybody doing the same shit. So, you know, when I hear like a lot of young dudes in Detroit be like, yeah, we Bloods and Crips, I'll be like, how?
Right.
Y'all niggas party with each other.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? How y'all gonna say that y'all separate? Only thing we ever had was the East and the West Side. And motherfuckers still went from the East Side to the West Side, and motherfuckers from the West Side came to the East Side.
Yep. Exactly.
Because when we got together, motherfuckers didn't even ask, like, where you from? We don't give a fuck. Who got the drinks? Who rolled it up?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
We go there and tell them I'm on right.
You got a motherfucking shit rolling up 8 motherfucking joints. It's just floating around. By the time motherfuckers smoke that shit, motherfuckers too chill to do anything.
Yeah. and the thing that made me mad about some of like a lot of the Bloods and the guys are saying they Bloods and they Crips and all that stuff and like the GDs whatever. Shout out to them. I know a lot of them. I'm affiliated with a lot of them. I know a lot of them. They hold us hooked up. You know what I'm saying? Because when I was in the federal prison, the Chicago boys was in there. When you get to the Fed joint, if you don't have like we got a Michigan card, you got a Chicago card, Minnesota, whatever, St. Louis. But when you don't have like enough Detroit guys to hang with, you automatically link up with anybody from Midwest.
Right.
It's our own cities, but then the Midwest, So when I first got to Fort Dix, I'm in New Jersey. I don't know nobody.
Right.
So the Chicago boys like, yo, blah, blah, blah. You got 3 homeboys, you got 3 dudes from Detroit, they down there in this unit, Or it'll be the same way for a guy from St. Louis or anywhere in the Midwest.
Right.
So I know their whole little style, I know what's going on. I know that a lot of them been gang banging, was forced into when they was 10. You cannot wait till you 32, my guy, and become a Blood.
Right.
And become a Crip, and then act like you really ready to go run around and do that shit when they done lost mamas and daddies and cousins behind this shit. So if you affiliated, Trick a Crip. I'm affiliated with Trick. You know what I'm saying? Trick is one of my main guys. If I call Trick right now and tell him pull up, he's coming. It's not no if ands about it. He out of town, he gonna send somebody.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? And we done been in them. I done been in them situations on several occasions where Trick, hey, Bob, and him and Diesel and you know what I'm saying? Yeah. All them boys, firstborn and all them big boys that showed up with sticks.
Yeah.
So I'm saying to the young dudes, you affiliated, that's cool. You don't have to pick up nobody else's beef. You don't have to do nothing. The whole moral of the story is get the money.
Yeah. And I was just about to ask that because normally when you see a guy who got your background and they always get worked back in. How did you stay out of that? How did you not get worked back in?
You talking about just into
the streets, into the bullshit and anything negative? Because ever since I've been knowing you, my nigga, you always keep a smile and you know what I'm saying?
To be honest with you, the smile is to keep them crying. I've been there, bro. I've been there. I've been there seeing niggas coming in that bitch 20 years old and they done gave them 60. He's netty. He don't even know it. He's still hooping on the court. I'm looking at him like, how could you be hooping?
Right.
He ain't here rapping and he ain't here laughing. And they gave him life and he 24. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got people in there that, you know, you be in there with and you kick it with them. And the most humblest guys is the guys that got life. You know what I'm saying? They the most guys. They the artists in there. They know how to draw. These guys know how to do all kind of shit. The most talented people in there. So I've been in there with them. I've been in there waking up with a dude who, you know, he ain't got no money. His family ain't sending no money. His girl cheating on him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He waking up every day. He waking up on the wrong side of the bed. Everybody in there, any given time, that shit can pop off. Any given time, you could die. Any given time, it's a bunch of different attitudes with a bunch of different men that's waking up on the wrong side of the bed. So I never ever, to be honest with you, like even street shit or shit I done, I never really like cared like this one I'm a pop.
Right.
You just did.
It just happened. This is what it is. You bring it, I'm gonna show you. You think you're gonna be a bully? Because I'm 5'6" and you 16. I'm gonna show you, bro. You about to learn. That was my whole thing. So I've been there and watched dudes with life be like, oh no, don't worry about it, young dog. I'm gonna take care of it. Because they got life. They don't got nothing to lose. So they go in the shower and hit a little young nigga in the head with a lock because he don't know how to respect it. He keeps saying nigga to the Muslims.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I seen him go in the shower and tighten him up. He come out there looking like a pumpkin head because he didn't know nothing to learn. Because he's 19 and he got 25 years and he think this shit a game.
Right.
I don't never want to go back.
Because I remember being down in Macomb County. I was down there and I was waiting on some shit to go through. So we out in the yard, we playing basketball. And this dude, they was transferring him. He had life, so he was about to go back. And we down there, we playing basketball. So I just thought my man was trying to, get over on me. So I started, giving him the hard ball. You know what I'm saying? The aggression and shit. And he was like, hold up. He was like, hold up, little dude. Let me tell you something, man. He said, I got life in this motherfucker. I'll be here for the rest of my life. How long you got? Like, shit, I'm waiting. Maybe, 2 or 3 months. He's like, you got to understand, with your attitude and the way you go about doing shit, I see you. He's like, for a nigga like me, I got life. If I kill you right now, what they gonna give me?
Life. Can't have life on top of life.
Dude, that shit stuck in my head forever. Because I'm in here with a killer.
Yeah.
And this motherfucking killer telling me, nigga, they can't give me no more than what they already gave.
So how being affiliated and being around people that's affiliated and you seeing that and how are you able to separate that from the business?
Well, the problem
knowing
is
that you having business with what's affiliated.
Business is always business. That's saying that business is always business. It's never personal. Business is always business.
It's never
At the end of the day,
business.
it's all about the money. At the end of the day, the money can make everything move. The money can make everything happen. Whatever you think and it can't, it can make it happen. The money make the shooters move. You know what I'm saying? The money can move your mama, like I'm talking about. So it's all about getting the money. So business is business. I always had a kind of like a gift of gab to give a person like where I was coming from for real. You know what I'm saying? So whenever we did like business venues, we did shit, whatever I call, you know what I'm saying? Like, just say for instance, Obi Trice. And I'd be like, listen, oh no, Obi, nobody gonna have a pistol here. Nobody. Not my brothers, not your brothers, not nobody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's street shit. I know it's in bars and we didn't have them in.
Right.
But this venue right here, my sister, my mama, my daddy might come. Nobody's gonna have a burner. So the worst case scenario is gonna be a fight.
Right.
And that's the business part about it because for one, I don't want nobody to die. For one, I want the money.
Yeah.
Right.
I want the door to do good and I want my name to be good. None of you always throw a nice, good party. Nobody got into it.
Right.
That come along with the brand. You know what I'm saying? If you got a party where somebody gets shot at every party, it's only a matter of, you only got about one more party.
So was it hard to rebrand yourself?
Yeah, it was hard to rebrand myself because I came home with a whole different rap style. Everything, the social media was big.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And everybody on here stunting and everybody showing off and I'm looking at these people like, why is he doing that? Like, I know, dude. You know? Like somebody posted the other day said, what the girl said on my page. She said, before you start fronting on Facebook and stunting like you really got it, please block the people that know you in real life. And I hit her back like, this might be the best post of the year. I know you in real life. Like, I'm looking at people like, dude ain't got no money like that. What is he doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is going on? But this shit right here took it to the next level where a girl used to, this how we got girls. When I was 13 and 14, we caught the bus and we went to Northland, we caught the bus, we went to Fairlane, we went to Eastland. We went to these neighborhoods, even though we know we was out of pocket, out of bound in somebody else's neighborhood. We worst case scenario, we gonna have to fight you. They gonna have to whoop us. But we going to these malls and this is how we get girls. So the girls gotta dress up and we gotta dress up and we gotta go out and see each other face to face. This shit make it easy for a girl to sit in her bathroom, put on an outfit, and then
not go nowhere,
and get 1,000 comments. Damn, beautiful. Hey, baby. Blah blah blah. Right. This her self confidence building. This don't really mean this in real life. This kind of like this is really help for fun, your daily days fun. I don't like when people get on here and cry. You know what I'm saying? Right. You get on here, you say what you got going on. I lost my grandma, y'all. I need y'all prayers, boom. Just sit this bitch right here and go live and sit here and cry. I'm going through it. You looking for self gratification. You want somebody to come on here and say, "Oh, I'm sorry." And where in reality, before this, you feeling like that, you go right up to your grandma's house. Grandma, I'm mad. Auntie, I'm sad. You supposed to have your own community. Don't make this be the community. Right. Because these people don't know you. They can give a fuck less. Yeah. You know, you die tomorrow, they're going to be like, oh, that's it.
They like moving.
Right. You ain't going to have, out of the 10,000 followers I got, hand to hand, probably personally, I probably know 2,000 of them. Mm-hmm. The other 8 is fans and followers, and shout out to them. They love me. I love them. Right. But it's not going to ruin their day. They not going to be corrupt. They still going to go to work. They still going to feed their kids. Right. They still going to feed the dog and cook dinner that night if I die tomorrow.
Because ain't nothing personal no more.
Right. It ain't personal. And don't let this make you think that this is the reality of it.
Right. Sure.
So, last question before we get ready to get into the fuck you for the week that he hold. I think this is a good one. I kind of this one. I think this is a good one. What would you tell your, let's go, I was going to say 21. My sister gave me this question. I was going to say 21, but let's go, because you went to jail at 19.
Well, actually, when I finally went, I was like 22.
But when it started happening,
I was 19.
Yeah. So. You know, what would today tell your 17-year-old self? What would you tell your 17-year-old self?
That's a cold question right there. To be honest, to sum it up for real, one file scoop, I would have listened to everything my daddy told me. I would have listened to everything step by step. Step by step, I would have listened to him. If I would listen to him would have been better than reading the Bible. Yeah. Shout out to that man. That man, he did everything he did. I told you, me and my brothers and my sisters, we stand by his principles, his morals. My daddy was that guy. When I get older and I'm grown, because even like I said, when I caught the case, he had 18,000.
Right.
I wasn't up like that. I had a few dollars. You know what I'm saying? But when it got, and the lawyer told me, shout out to him too, Gerald Evening, saved my life. I love him. His son is Cash Cola. You remember Cash Cola?
Yeah.
Mr. Rap. Down there. That's Gerald Evening's son. That's my lawyer. Shout out to Gerald Evening. Gerald Evening told me, I don't want your daddy money. I want your money. Your daddy my friend. How much money you got? And I'm looking stupid. I got 4,000. That ain't nothing, nigga. Your case, I need 9,000 down. That's what he telling me. So my daddy was telling me every step on point. He was telling me, why you keep carrying guns? Like, if you want to carry a gun, go to the army then. Why is you creating problems? You making problems. You can go to school. You could be this. He was letting me know I'm going to back you in everything you're going to do. Whatever you want. You want to try that? You want to go to school? Because I wanted to be an architect. And he was like, well, you can go to school for that, and I'll back you. What kind of car? I always wanted the drop top the T-top Monte Carlo.
Yeah.
And right before I caught this case, I told him, he said, "You want what color Monte Carlo you want?" He's about to get it.
Yeah,
well, I spent my $30,000 on the case. You see what I'm saying? Because he asked my older brother. He asked me, he's like, "What's Love's favorite car? What's Keith's favorite car?"
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he's about to get them all.
Mm-hmm.
I jacked it all off on a dumbass case because the motherfucker felt like he violated my pride.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But dude was getting high. He was smoking crack, and well, I could have let him go. But by him being older and you know, people say I have a little man complex, but no, it was you think I got the little man complex. So you about to try to bully and see if I do got the little man complex. No, we ain't gonna go. Ain't gonna happen like that.
Yeah, I agree.
So to answer that question, I would listen to everything my father told me, bro, step by step.
You know, you got some daddies out here that got that. They gonna watch this. See, boy? See? I told you. That's Jnutty. He out. I told you. Now listen to what he talking about.
My daddy got a saying where he said, "I love to be the one to say I told you so." I
say that to my son.
He said it all the time, and he told me, "Constantly, they'll lock you up, Jay, and they'll forget about you."
So
Jay, this real. You want to play with them guns? He like, I got a gun. I know where it's at. He said, if I can't think myself down by the time I go home and get the gun, then it might be meant to be. He was like, but if I got that mother, you got it on you. He said, you got a split second to figure it all out right now. Right. You got a split second to think, is a neighbor watching? Is it a camera here? Is he got a gun? You got to think about all that in a split second. But if you leave the scene and you get your wits together, is it really worth it? Perfect example, the dude that showed up at my door a month later, I ain't mad no more.
Right.
Had I had a burner that day,
it'd have been up.
My first time in, one thing I definitely knew that I wasn't gonna find myself in this situation before. You know, again, for the simple fact that at that time in my life, I loved being out. I love, you know, waking up in the morning, washing my ride and shit, cleaning my rims, you know, hitting off downtown and shit like that, you know, hollering at the fellas, late night partying with the chicks and shit. But when that motherfucking cell closed, dog, you and that bitch by yourself. Your mind and stuff, you just thinking all types of shit. And pretty soon, you stay in there long enough, you forget the outside world. It don't even matter no more.
The inside becomes a part of your life, and you watch. I watch guys come in with me,
literally,
and come in there and they get institutionalized, and we had to part ways because they was. Yeah, you owe me 30 cents. And I'm like, hey, you don't pay me that 30 cents, then it's gonna be a problem. And I'm like, dog, it's 30 cents. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna get you 30 cents. One of my uncle OGs, when I first got there the first time, it was on the yard. It was these big sirens, like the tornado sirens. And when I got there, and he was walking around, and he like, oh, you in Jackson? I'm like, yeah. He like, yeah, your grandma, I used to spend the night over there, whatever. He knew my uncles, whatever. We walk in the yard, but at this time, he'd been down 17 years. So we walk in the yard, and I asked him, I said, what is those, why they got those big tornado sirens out here? He was like, oh, they sound the alarm. When they sound that alarm, you got to either get to your room or lay down, you know. And I was like, what they do? He was like, if like somebody gets stabbed, that alarm will go off, and, you know, you got to just lay down until they feel the situation. I was like, damn. He was like, yeah, if you'll hear him at 3 o'clock, this hunky don't pay me my stamps. The hunky owed me 6 stamps, and you're going to hear about it. You'll hear it at 3 o'clock if he don't pay me. I had to distance myself away from him because he was really serious about six stamps that go on the letter.
Yeah.
He's saying if the hunky don't pay him, he going to stab. And I'm like, damn, this motherfucker.
You heard it at that time, yes.
Yeah, I heard it. Like, I'm like,
that's picking up another case.
Oh my God, this is what. And I had to get out of there. I'm like, my mind, I can't let this shit trap me in here.
Right.
You can't get caught up into the riffraff, and because everything that's small becomes something big in there. The stamps and getting somebody to steal your food out the kitchen, and all that shit is something minute. But I didn't find myself in there arguing over chicken. Like, no, nigga, you said you're going to have 10 pieces. And this, You gave them some, and I'm really arguing like, damn, Jay, you used to go buy buckets.
Right. Yeah, you bought buckets for everybody.
Everybody, dog, you done pulled up and you done went up to the wing spot and had 100 wings sitting over there. And you sitting here arguing about
2 or 3.
3 legs and 3 thighs.
Man.
But that's when I caught myself being institutionalized.
Because that 1 or 2 years could turn into 5 to 10.
Yeah.
Easy. Like, I thought you was getting out in a year. No, I caught a flag when I was in there. So shit, I gotta do another 5.
Shout out to my dog Jnutty too, Nick X. Jnutty, he taught me out of jail.
Talked you out?
He taught me how to. He taught me. He was one of the main influences. He was a Muslim, he was the nation. And he was one of the main guys that was like,
this how you orchestrate.
The same thing on basketball court, calling the Muslim niggas and all that. I was doing it. And he went and put me to the side like, Jay, they gonna stick you. Like, you my bunkie. I'm just telling you right now, this ain't no this ain't no for you think it's cool because you know I done got there and like this shit soft. This is weak and you know what I'm saying? Ah, man, fuck
this ain't what I thought it was.
So the it's not funny now, but the Muslim guy told me to quit saying nigga.
Right.
And I
like saying it to them or saying it
to them.
Oh, okay.
While we on the basketball court. They only was saying this shit though when they were losing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? When they lose and it's a problem. Fuck y'all. All right, well, do what you gonna do, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm acting stupid. I'm out there hooping. You gotta think I'm the littlest guy on the court.
Yeah, going crazy.
So now
you gotta talk that shit.
Because I feel like you pick me, you single me out. I ain't the only one saying nigga all day.
Right.
So nigga X pulled me in the room and like, listen, I'm gonna have to make you a knife. You gonna have to you gonna have to keep. You gonna have to find somewhere to hide it because they gonna stick you, Jay. Like you can't go out on that court like that, dog. If you want to go home, I'm telling you how to do it.
You got the opportunity to go home.
You can go home or you can go next door. And, you know what I'm saying? And he was right. He showed me. You know what I'm saying? I realized like, okay, yeah, that's. And like I said, then later on, I saw where they tighten up another young, get him in the shower.
Give him the business.
And you in there naked with no flip flops on. You can't fight. You slide. Right. And then with their gym shoes on, tighten you up.
I already know what's up.
You know, luckily I had him to school me, through that. But that's, once again, he ain't number a year or 2 older than me, but I was listening to the OGs.
Mm-hmm. I used to say, it takes some alcohol motherfuckers to go in the shower and beat up a naked.
They don't care.
They don't get that
They don't give a fuck.
They don't give a fuck.
I know that's where you're vulnerable.
They don't give a fuck. We went out on the street, we wouldn't even fight a naked dude.
Yeah, like, well, he naked. Like, man, naked. You grab him. I ain't grabbing him. Fuck that. Yeah, right. You better get the fuck on. Not in the joint.
Right.
I was in the joint at one point in time. I used to go to the shower with my shoes. You go to the shower with your gym shoes on. You know what I'm saying? You don't get naked. You take your boxes. You have your boxers on. And, yeah, but my dad, to be honest with you, my dad lined me up for all that. Like, my dad always told me, you don't start no fight. You finish it.
You finish it.
Right.
Always be smart. Always think. You know what I'm saying? Everything that he kind of like taught me and showed me, his parenting skills. My father was a fireman and he like owned 3 cabs when I was young. So he was legit. My mama was an accountant. So they was really trying to raise, my mama Jehovah's Witness, they was really trying to do the right thing. But my dad knew like, kind of like his brothers was in the street. So he kind of knew like it was like in the bloodline. And he kind of knew which way and which route I was going.
He probably was fucking with it too.
But he always, I just, real story. I found out this the other day, right? So I was kicking with my aunts, you know what I'm saying? And I was, they always say I was real bad. Like, chasing bad. I was always on punishment. It was always something with me. So my auntie said the other day, it wasn't the other day, but it was a little while ago, my aunt was like, I was like, Auntie, I know I was bad when I was young. I said, but I was always good when around y'all, And my aunt said, well, it wasn't nothing. You was just, just like your daddy. Your daddy got a woman every day. I'm like, what? Because I couldn't see this. Because he's a straight up stand-up business person. And they said, your daddy got a whooping every day. And I asked my dad, I'm like, you got a whooping every day? He was like, yeah, I used to be testing daddy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So my dad tried a different approach with me. With not trying to whoop me and fight me every time. Or, you know what I'm saying? I was fighting the whole family. I was fighting the big brothers, sisters, everybody. I was just, I don't know what it was. I was just nutty back then, man. A couple times one day I came home and told this dude, I was about 17, he was about 30. I told him he couldn't be parked right there. My daddy gonna park right there. My daddy pull up, he parks right there every day. You gotta move. Like, man, if you don't get on, and now that I think about it, he was eating. He was sitting on his car and he was eating. And now, hindsight, he was high, probably. You know what I'm saying?
Shit up his food.
And man, that big nigga grabbed me, man, swung on me, nicked my chin so motherfucking hard. When I felt that shit for a day, I ran in the house, I had a 22 rifle then. I came out, shot the 22 out of his car. He told my daddy, he's like, man, you better get a hold of him, man. This dude. This dude. I was bad as hell.
Nigga nutty, dog.
But I was infatuated with guns. I just used to love guns. And then, like I said, you pull that movie, the whole room change. You whip that bitch out.
Yeah. Anytime
you whip that bitch out, you hear silence, shut up, and you can make the whole room listen.
You gonna either that or what's the them the motherfuckers that's cool. What you got? Other than that, motherfucker, so you gonna have a scatter.
So, but I just now, all that bullshit I did, I just be praying that I don't come back on my kids. You know what I'm saying? Kids. I be trying to school people and help them. You know what I'm saying? Like shout out to Early Bird, Get the One, Ray, Marlo, my guy Mucho Dinero. All these young dudes come up under me, and a lot of them listen, like to everything I said. Like like they tell me like later on, and I be like, that's all that matters. Yeah. You got it. Yeah. One of the good dudes, my man Marquand and Pious Rap, he dope. They telling me the other day we was sitting in the hood and he was like, when we was young, you one of the only people that when we used to go to the store, seeing you on the way to the store was a lit. Yeah. He was like, because you not only bought us what we wanted in the store, you made sure we had money when we came out.
And Kool-Aid. Remember Kool-Aid?
Kool-Aid, yep.
And Kool-Aid, I ain't gonna lie, Kool-Aid used to do that shit too. He used to be up at Kettering doing that shit.
And he said to me, he like, we owe you right now. We both owe you. They was talking, and he was like, what you want? You want a bottle? I said, no, it's more than a bottle right now. And I said, that was 20 years ago. It's more than a bottle. And he's like, I said, it's a bottle in a bowl now. And they started laughing, but they was like, you can cash in. They said, you can cash in whenever you get cash in.
Yesterday's prices ain't today's price.
And that part made me feel good. Like, okay, they got it. They understood what I was doing. Right. It was genuine. Yeah. I used to tell them,
you want the homage.
Yeah.
Acknowledge that you caught the lesson.
Yeah, and you see my daughter out here wrong, school her. Yeah. You see my son in trouble and needs school him. Pass it down, let it trickle down.
It's a community, man. It take more than one. We always say that we a firm believer. It's a community. Each one teach one. Motherfucker, it take a village to raise a child. All of that type of shit. Like you talking the same shit we talk.
Actually, I probably would have been if it wasn't for the neighbors and you know what I'm saying. If it wasn't for the community. Mm-hmm. We couldn't do like a lot of stuff I was able to get away with on the east side. I couldn't get away with on the west side. Right. Just being honest, you know what I'm saying. And if it wasn't for the community we had on Woodrow Wilson, I probably would have been a little worse or probably been locked up forever. Yeah.
That's back then when they was still kind of able to get in your ass.
Yeah, because
they can't even say nothing to somebody else's kid.
You can't even say nothing to somebody else's kid. You pull up on. I used to be dodging. I never forget when we was first drinking beer. I used to be dodging. We dodging. My daddy owned cabs, so my uncle used to drive cabs for him. So every cab I see, we had the beer.
Turn your head. Don't be seen where you ain't supposed to be.
Right. But my dad was. That's why I say he was a hell of a guy. Because one day we skipping school. Right. We in high school now. We skipping school, and it's me and 3 of my boys, and we in the house and we playing cards. So. I'm like, if my dad come home and say we got all that, we got all that 6 hours. So we sit in the house, we playing the cards, we drinking beer. We got a couple girls over there. And my dad come in. We had the beers. Everybody put the beer under the tablecloth. He run upstairs real quick. And he come down and he like, what's going on? We're in school. We had it early. They had a play. That's what it was. They had a play we didn't want to go to. Okay, blah, blah, blah. all right, I'll be back in, you know, so-and-so time, whatever. Okay, all right. And he leave out. And then he come right back.
30 minutes later.
He said, hey, next time y'all hide y'all beers, y'all gotta remember to hide the tops too. Close the door, lock the door, and went out. We all stood there dumb. We looking at each other like, oh my God, we stupid as hell.
Did y'all leave?
We all had
stop.
No, the party didn't stop. But he let me know, like, dude, ain't nothing new under the sun. I see what you're doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
and even at that time, that's when I supposed to embrace what he was doing. And still, I still kind of reject it because I'm a young man, I'm my own man, you know.
Right.
But like I said, he was a hell of a guy. He taught me everything I know. He was real stern on a lot of shit.
Yeah.
If I'd have listened to him, man.
Even if you would have still been rapping, you'd have been rapping different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got to go ahead and make this, I hate to do it, but we got to. Go ahead, P, and hit him with the fuck you for the week before we get into everything else.
Fuck you for the week.
Damn, Florida. This is some good food.
Okay, Alicia Moore. This was a chick in Florida. Left her kids in the car to go shoplift. And while she's in the store shoplifting, they don't know how it happened, but some way the car caught on fire with the kids in it.
Oh my God.
Dude, I mean, not only you leave your kids in the car, but you leave your kids in the car to go shoplift.
What color was she? Please don't say that.
Come on, man. Alicia Moore, you already know. You already know. We definitely got to do better, man.
Yeah.
We can't put our kids into the midst of our bullshit. You know what I'm saying? We supposed to be teaching them. You know, we supposed to be taking them far away from the trouble. And, you know, leaving the kids in cars, shit, that shit ain't never been cool. We been, talking about that since the 80s.
Especially not to go and steal.
Man.
At least have a decent car so that bitch won't catch on.
Shout out to my
Man.
boy Mike D. Talking about, I taught you how to fish.
Hey, fishing is real humbling.
You taught me a lot of shit.
Yeah.
But Uncle Dex taught me how to fish. Your daddy did. You taught me how to get out of that seat. It was like, what's that? Like quicksand. He saved my life though. You did save my life on that.
Yeah, quicksand ain't no motherfucker either.
But yeah, he said that's the fuck you for the week.
Yeah, that's the fuck you for the week, man.
Fuck her for the
dude.
month.
You know, like, dude, you know, we got to think of the shit we do, the actions we do, especially when we start having kids. That shit affects our kids. So you never want to put your kids in a situation that, you know, their life is turned upside down by the mistakes of the parents. So
The kid died.
no, he got some burns to him, but a bystander ended up getting the kids out the car. But shit, you know, definitely these charges come down, you know what I'm saying? Now you got abuse, child abuse, neglect,
and
man.
That child again, and then that child ain't gonna have his mama.
Right, so it's like, man, it's a fucking tornado because that shit come through and rip up, you know, your whole family dynamics and shit, man.
Oh, from one thought.
Yeah, so shit. Keep your bullshit to yourself and keep it away from the kids, and man, make sure these kids have a good life, enjoy their life, and not worry about the troubles and the shit that we go through. You know what I'm saying? Just teach them, you know, how to get around shit, how to live a good life, you know, and keep your bullshit away from them. So that's my fuck you for the week.
You want to tap into that?
Oh no, I said fuck her for the month.
She get my time.
The one thing, I love the kids, bro.
Yeah.
That's like a big thing for me. I'm talking about, I'm like a real kid lover. Like I sit there and talk to the kid for 40 minutes and mom be like, get out of his face, go on. Like, oh, he really was saying something.
Right. That's how I be. I be the one like, yo.
Because a lot of parents and people, they treat kids as if they're not. Like they're like little humans.
Right.
They're little humans and they soaking shit up, bro. And a lot of them be saying some real shit. If you
want to learn.
Yeah, they want to learn. You gotta listen to them.
Yeah.
And that's how you can weed out and be like, he advanced.
Motivation for the week right here.
He advanced. My uncle, I will tell you what happened. my Uncle Ivory, a long time ago, I was young, and I looked at his ashtray, and I was like, I know what that is. And he was like, what? I was like, Dad. He was like, what is it? I was like, that's a weed seed. I said it thinking he gonna think I was cool and smart.
Mm-hmm.
He popped me in my chest and like, get out of here. And then told my daddy, like,
you being nosy.
Advanced. You gotta pay watching.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That come from the conversation or him watching me. We gotta watch these kids and not think like, go in the back room and all that. I was infatuated with guns. I was 9, 10, going there grabbing my daddy pump and pumping it.
Right.
My brother played with it one day, almost shot me with it. We was young, 10, 11. So that's how these kids keep getting shot on TV. Or there's an unloaded gun. It was this. You thinking in your mind, he don't know how to work that gun. He got Grand Theft Auto, bro, and Call of Duty.
Now
he really know
virtual games.
Yeah, he really watching him cop the guns. Don't assume that he don't know how to use the gun. If you would converse with these kids, you would know how advanced they are.
Right, they know more than what we think they know.
Yeah.
They got too much information. There's too much information out here, man.
Yep.
Internet, YouTube, they learning everything at a fast rate.
Yep.
Nah, it's my turn to tap into that. Hey, we gonna have him back on the show for sure. Like I said at the beginning of the show, the guy under the tree with all of the young dogs paying attention and the motherfucker talking. This that whole set. This is that whole set. And I ain't gonna lie, I set up and I enjoy it. Because I called you a pioneer. I called you a legend in Detroit rap music. And it goes beyond that. You know what I'm saying? So to be able to listen to it and not knowing what I was listening to and then hearing it from the horse's mouth, man, that shit was powerful. That shit was, dope as hell. So we gotta have him back on again.
I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all having me, man.
Man, I appreciate that. I for sure appreciate that. But what I'm about to do.
I love the questions though. To be honest with you, I love the whole context of the questions.
We ain't nothing but the best podcast out there. We just ain't known yet, but teach his own. We'll get there one day. Patience, all that. The vibe be everything, so like I said, I wanted to pick your. I already told you anyway.
That was a good question too.
I mean, it's cool for me because shit, I was like a fan of your music back in the day, and I was like a rival of you because motherfuckers be like, you heard Jnutty? I be like, it's all right, man. Then I got to go listen to it.
Hey, when Kurt came out with 21 Guns, I told him this the other day. I used to think, nigga, man, I was in middle school, boy, thinking I was party on. I swear to God, I asked my brother, boy, I had the whole album, boy. I used to play that bitch back to back, nigga. That was my shit.
At the time, if you was like a rapper, you had your own crew and shit, and that motherfuckers be like, hey, y'all, you heard that? I'd be like, shit, man, you straight. Go to the back, listen to that shit, like, damn, this shit is hard. Hey, you get out the pencil, you get the motherfucking books, and
and nigga can still go. He still go. He just did a performance at Big Daddy Game a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I'm still, to be honest with you, I'm still in my prime. That's why a lot of them, I ain't gonna say them names. That's why a lot of people don't want, them songs with them.
That's why we got to do a part 2. We still had questions. We got to do a part 2.
Yeah.
We got to do a part 2.
We do a part 2 whenever y'all ready, man.
That's what we love right there.
Go get my daughter on the podcast too, man. I'm gonna make sure my whole squad, Unlimited ENT, got your back. I get her and them over here too, man.
So you know what you just did?
Plug down.
He say connections. I say intertwining communities. That's what we about right there. You just heard that. You just heard that for yourselves. I ain't even had to ask. I ain't even have to, Thank you. That's all we need. Yeah. But let's get into this Roc'n and Drop It. And I'm going to let you let us slide with it so you can introduce it leaving out. So this the Roc'n and Drop It. This is Roc'n and Drop It. And he going to go ahead.
Yeah, this the Roc'n and Drop It, but the song is Rock Witches, me and her. Helluva did the beat. It's an old sample from Freddie Jackson, so rock with me and listen to the lesson. I gave y'all a lesson in that song too, so
for sure. You could ask 1,000 questions like that.
History lesson on that one.
Sure.
Improve, got you all of a sudden, things stop, but you can't ever forget. Majesty on lock, rock with me with your